Let's take a look at the licensing options for the Serv-U family of products. When you obtain a trial of Serv-U, it will be fully functional for 30 days. The evaluation will be locked into the Serv-U MFT feature set, which includes all available functionality for Serv-U. Not everyone needs this much power, so we have a lighter tier offering we call Serv-U FTP. Note the differences in the feature matrix on your screen. Serv-U FTP limits the number of user accounts and active sessions, as well as the number of Serv-U domains. Other capabilities, such as file sharing, high availability, certain transfer protocols, administrative conveniences, and external authentication using a database, LDAP, or Active Directory, are only available with a Serv-U MFT license. However, the Serv-U Gateway product, which is licensed separately, can be used with both editions of Serv-U to establish a reverse proxy in your DMZ. Let's take a look at a basic Serv-U architectural diagram now. This deployment model applies to both Serv-U MFT and Serv-U FTP. Both products can utilize external remote storage over the network. However, Serv-U FTP is not able to utilize any external authentication strategies involving a user database, LDAP, or Active Directory. In this configuration, Internet users can connect to Serv-U provided the perimeter firewall allows inbound connections to ports being utilized for file transfer protocols. Users within your internal network can connect to Serv-U as well. Serv-U MFT scales horizontally and supports high availability using an active-active model. As long as at least one of 3 Serv-U MFT servers depicted in the diagram is up and accepting inbound connections, your managed file transfer services can operate uninterrupted. The Serv-U MFT servers do not communicate with each other, but they share a common source for authentication, such as a database of users, LDAP, or Active Directory. Each of these servers are configured to utilize the same storage over the network. A load balancer distributes incoming connections to Serv-U MFT servers, ensuring maximum availability for your managed file transfer services. For additional security, one or more Serv-U gateways can be licensed as an add-on for both Serv-U MFT and Serv-U FTP. The gateway would be deployed in your DMZ. Inbound connections from the Internet would be allowed through your perimeter firewall. The firewall policy between your DMZ and your internal network can be configured to block all inbound traffic from the DMZ. Serv-U connects to the Serv-U gateway and tells it to listen for client connections on specific IP addresses and ports. This connection is held open as the gateway control channel. When an Internet client connects to your file transfer servers, the perimeter firewall should port map to the corresponding ports on the Serv-U gateway. The Serv-U gateway tells Serv-U about new connections over the gateway control channel. Serv-U can check the client IP address against an access control list and performs any other authentication as necessary. If the client is approved, Serv-U opens a new connection to the Serv-U gateway called the gateway data channel. The Serv-U gateway then stitches the client connection to the new gateway data channel created for the transfer protocol. In this way, data transfer occurs safely between the Internet client and the Serv-U server on your internal network without compromising network security. The Serv-U gateway can augment the basic Serv-U deployment architecture for additional security. This configuration works for both Serv-U MFT and Serv-U FTP, but there are significant differences in capability. Serv-U FTP cannot be leveraged for certain transfer protocols, nor can it be configured to use external authentication mechanisms such as a database of users, LDAP, or Active Directory. Finally, the Serv-U gateway can be used in a highly available configuration for Serv-U MFT only. Recall that Serv-U MFT scales horizontally, N+1, active-active, and so external authentication and external storage are required to make the most of this configuration. A load balancer can be placed between Serv-U gateway and your Internet users. Each Serv-U MFT server will be configured to connect to all of the Serv-U gateways, allowing the gateway to round-robin incoming connections and file transfers.